All right. Today we are doing a training on the new AI like send scheduler. So basically what this does is when you send a message in high level on a one-to-one message, it looks at when the contact last clicked, opened, replied to an email, and it's going to make sure that this email lands in their inbox at the optimal time for them to see it again. So ideally, it's going to show up at the top of their inbox the next time they check, and most people have routines like this. So the cool thing is they're about to roll this out to where it'll be able to work on bulk actions. And that means every single contact you send to, it's going to find the ideal time for them to receive it and reply. So I'm going to go ahead and share. There are also some limitations to this as it's rolling out that I hope get resolved, and I'm going to talk about those. But first, we're going to turn it on inside of my system. And I probably need to go to agency view, but I'm already here, so I'm going to check one time. Yeah, so you want to go to agency view, settings, and then labs. Oh, sub account. We've got two new features. Hmm. Maybe it's already turned on for everybody. Let me just review the little high level note real quick. And this is AI Smart Send, AI Schedule. Turning it on. All right, it looks like it's already on. So I have a feeling it might not work on mine because I have two-way sync enabled. I'm going to try to disable it and see. Let's just see if it shows up already. I'm going to turn these features on before I leave. Being able to book with AI for team calendars is super important too. So I'm glad to see that feature. That is why I first coded my first app for the high level marketplace. HL Pro Tools has a Zapier flow that can book appointments, but it couldn't book appointments for users on a team calendar or smartly book them to a team calendar. And for rescheduling appointments with your sales reps, if you can't do it for the right team member, then you can't use it. And so that is why I coded my first app on the 2.0 API. And I'm glad that High Level's native setup can do that now too. So now we're going to go in here. We're going to test out Smart Send. I may have to disable two-way sync. I gave you guys a little disclaimer and said one of the limitations I would mention, and the one I was going to mention is this, yeah, this two-way sync. So if I go into my profile, I think you turn it off right here. So maybe this will fix it for me. Now, two-way sync is pretty important for me because I have a lot of clients I'm doing ongoing service for. And I think this is probably going to hold a lot of people back from turning this on at this point, to be honest. But if you have two-way sync turned on, which you can do right here in your profile, it has to be done for every user individually. Now it's actually, if somebody just emails that email directly instead of my high-level subdomains, which are the ones I'm using for lead connector email, which is like invite.massmarket. If you're doing it right, that's kind of what it should be, a little something with a dot before your main domain. Normally, only emails to and from those would show up in high level unless you turn this on. This is going to allow you to pull emails from your inbox into high level, and even ones you send out, they'll show up in high level as long as you have that contact in high level. That's the only caveat. So I use this for a few things. Like I use it to get my Zoom transcriptions available for my whole team before I started using Fireflies. So I'd have two-way sync, and then the email that would come to me that would say, "Here's your Zoom recording." I just added the Zoom email into high level, turned on two-way sync, and then it would save that so my team could always grab it. So there's a lot of usefulness to this, not to mention sometimes a client's just going to write your email out by hand. Sometimes they're going to reply to an email, and you don't want to miss any of that. So now I'm going to turn this off, and I'm a little scared too. And we're going to see if now I can send emails like that. I wouldn't be surprised if I had to reset something else. But that is the one caveat is it doesn't work with two-way sync. Test smart send. Yep. So AI schedule. When you schedule it, you choose the maximum time it can wait. It's going to look at the best time possible within the range you set. So if I said in the next 2 hours and it had no data on an open or anything in that time period for the day, it wouldn't send anything, or it would just choose a random time. So you can edit this. It gives you the option to go up to 72 hours, and we'll test it just like this. So this is really just the first um, of a whole new wave of things that's going to come out because you can tell when a text is responded to or a link is clicked. You can tell this kind of stuff on all different channels. Social media, like social media posting, HighLevel already has it optimized for that. I don't know if you guys have noticed, you can't choose when you post to each follower, but HighLevel already knows when your audience is engaging the most, and it will smart schedule posting the same way as it does sending for emails now. And I'm sure they're going to roll this out for SMS, and this will be great for everybody's response and booking rates and all that kind of stuff. Um, I think that there's one more thing I wanted to say about it, but I think that pretty much covers it. Now, before I forget, I'm going to go turn back on two-way sync. If you guys are doing a big email campaign, it might be worth turning off and doing the smart send. Oh, I know what I was going to say. They even just added that audience timed posting for Blue Sky, which is like a new thing that's similar to Twitter, and for one other platform. That's another recent update. So if you haven't checked in your social planner, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in there. Um, Jorge or Michelle, if you guys have any questions, feel free to fire them off. I'm sure you're not the only one who will watch this that would have a question. Um, did I explain everything pretty well for you guys? Good. So two-way sync, Jorge, you may want to check and make sure that's turned on for you because you have to log into that because it's your personal email logins. So if you want to check that, I would just go to your sub account in my profile and make sure that's turned on. Now you can have a different email syncing to all of your different businesses. So if you had multiple sub accounts where you're involved in them, you need to go and connect the email you use for that business to all of them. So your information stays synced up. And guys, that's all I got for you. So thank you, Michelle and Jorge, for joining. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can head up to the link in my bio, join the community. You can get invited to these live. I also do an hour-long group call beforehand. A new thing we're doing is anybody who's my affiliate, which means you have an account direct with HighLevel, but you went through my link. Normally, people just give bonuses and group calls. I do group calls and done for you hours from my team. So pretty much anything you need for SEO, website development, high-level setup, AI voice stuff, my team can get in there and do it. And we have pretty on the forms and onboarding places where you kick off little tasks for us. We show you exactly how long everything takes in HighLevel. Michelle's taking a lot of advantage of that, and I know Jorge will be too, as he moves into the kind of the phase where you're just kind of tweaking things up over time. So thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you on Thursday at 1 p.m. for Michelle and Jorge and anybody else who wants